podcast. I'm Jay Jones,
L Boogie.
Rick the Ruler.
and we are the Keeping It 100 podcast. Welcome back once again. How was everybody's weekend? Did anybody do anything interesting?
Hell no.
Can't say it was interesting yet again. Another
Nothing?
another pretty dry weekend.
Jeez,
And
y'all boring, man.
You know,
Y'all
and the
boring.
weather's starting to change. It's getting cold and nobody really wants to be out in there.
yeah, speaking of the weather, ladies and gentlemen, you already know it's ashy season. So get that lotion together, chapstick,
Cocoa butter.
whatever you got to use, Don't look like you was baking biscuits in the kitchen. So
Yeah, I had to grab some chapstick earlier today. It was getting bad, man. I had to make sure I was good, cause lips, you don't want your lips to be cracking and bleeding and all that other stuff. So I definitely understand that right there. Ashy season.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
definitely.
your shea butters and your cocoa butters and all the butters and
Yeah,
whatever else you need.
So Rick, did you do anything outside of let folks know it's ashy season?
Well, we got this nice apparel on.
Ooh, look at that.
How about that?
I see. It looks pretty good. How you feel?
I feel motivated.
I know that's right, man. I know that's right. True. I didn't really do much this weekend. I chilled. My weekends are always different from everybody else's weekends because I work on weekends. So my weekends are during the weekday. So normally on the weekends, I'm working, trying to chill with the family, and just watching sports for the most part. Caught up on watched a little bit of college football, Alabama, LSU, in the NFL. Shout out to my Titans. They got the upset this week in Kansas City. So other than that, that's about it.
So all is well in your world.
Yeah, he good.
I'm just
Okay.
saying. But I agree. The weather, man, it went from like 60 yesterday to like 30 today. With the wind blowing, it's no good. It's definitely becoming winter season real quick.
Yeah.
So,
It is what it is. We adjust.
and with the daylight savings time, man, like it just makes it even worse. Like it gets dark now at like 4:30. Like I'll go pick my son up from school and he's like, "Why you pick me up so late?" I'm like, "I picked you up at the regular time." It just feel like it's 8:30 when I go pick him up cuz it's so dark and cold.
Well,
So,
it's setting that Thanksgiving mood.
man, it's in that grind season mode, man. This is when you get it in so you can try to have some fun during the summertime weather right here or cuffing season maybe if you ain't got a boo. So,
I mean, it is what it is.
So, but
Right.
but other than that, that's about it, man. Chilling.
Also, shout out to the veterans.
Yeah.
Veterans Day was yesterday, so shout out to the people who served. We might not know them all, but we appreciate them all because we definitely need them.
Most
That's
definitely.
for sure.
Most definitely.
All right, let's load up our topics. Let's get started. It's game time. Talk to me.
Yeah, so I know before we went into our topics, we had a laugh of the week from Facebook. And so
Dang.
we're not sure if this is legit or not,
Wow.
but Facebook to introduce the shut the fuck up reaction
Jeez.
button. Okay.
Wow.
I haven't seen it come through yet, but
I think we need it.
Yeah, it's overdue. I think
Yeah,
it's overdue.
it's definitely overdue. They about a day short, a dollar short, a day late. I don't know the same, but they late with it.
Just late.
Yeah, they late with it.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
I know a few people I want to hit with that joint.
Yeah, that's crazy right there.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how that's utilized on everybody's page. I think a lot of people just gonna be catching them for no reason. It's just
It's going to be the most popular joint.
yeah, it's gonna be like
Yeah.
Yeah.
used really often.
But then I know, we had talked about Instagram. Instagram is removing its like button.
The
right?
like, yeah, it's not letting you see your likes as much as you do now. I know now sometimes they hide the likes. Like you might have likes, but it won't show up until you like actually hit I think the heart button or the like button. So I think they're trying to experiment to see how people are going to react. Some people feel like it's going to damage their business or businesses that they do online through Instagram. Some people think it's going to be helpful for young adults as far as popularity and, you know, how they get treated or whatever, comparing people pages and pictures and stuff like that. So some people think it's going to be helpful. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. So we're gonna see.
We will.
Instagram stay switching stuff up. Then they switched something else up once before. I can't think of what it was. I think it was the synchronized timeline. I think it was. I'm not sure, but they stay switching something up. So
Hmm.
we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
I'm really on Instagram, so
Well, a lot of people feelings gonna be hurt. So if you think you was cool and you was popular and you ain't gonna get no likes no more like that, but you can still see him, but everybody else can't see him or something like that, to that degree. So it's gonna be interesting, most definitely. So I
Right.
think now we can jump into the topics.
Let's go.
So
What do we have for tonight?
I'm sorry. Before we jump into the topic, I just want to throw this out there right quick. Um, Rodney Reed. I don't know if you all heard about Rodney Reed, but he's currently an African American male who's on the Texas death row, and He's supposed to be executed next week. Actually, today, next week on Tuesday, I believe. They're trying to say that he raped and murdered a white lady, 19 years old, back in 95, 96. Back then, of course, DNA and things like that weren't as good as it is now. So they have new evidence now that has come forth. They even had the young lady's fiance at the time. Allegedly, he admitted to actually killing the girl, his fiance, because she was cheating on him with the gentleman Rodney Reed. So I just want to ask people to just go ahead and look into the case if you don't know anything about it. I know on Sean King's page they were signing a petition to try to save his life. A lot of new evidence has come up. So if you have time, if you don't know anything about the case, please take the time out, look at it, help save a man's life.
No doubt.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. Wow. Yeah. But we wanted today, our topics are dating in the workplace and interracial dating. So just a few statistics that we got from Business Insider. So 16% of people met their spouse at work. Of those who have dated a coworker, 42% said that they had an ongoing casual relationship. 36% said they had a random office hookup. 29% had been in a serious long-term relationship. And 16% had met their spouse or partner at work. So Business Insider also touched on the most common industry for workplace romances,
Here we
which
go.
was the hospitality and
Here
tourism
we go.
industry.
Ain't
Wow.
that something? Ain't that something?
Wow.
Now, we know a lot about that.
Oh, no question
Definitely.
about it.
All
Definitely.
three of us have a background in
Definitely.
hospitality and tourism. So,
Definitely.
62% of the workers say they've gotten have had a romance with their coworker. Let's see.
Wow.
So
The bed is there.
so we definitely wanted to touch on that. So the first question is, can office relationships work?
I don't think if they're in the same department.
Um, it's tough. I don't think it'll work. Like Rick said, if they're in the same department, but it has worked for a lot of people. A lot of people do. I've seen people work right next to each other. They ended up dating and ended up getting married and having a family. So it's definitely doable. I don't know how popular it is as far as working directly next to that person, but I know personally I couldn't do it though. I couldn't work like right next to the person and be dating, or right in the next office or 3 offices down. Hell, I don't even know if I want you to be in the same building.
I don't even want you to be in the same city.
Man,
Nah, I'm
but
joking.
it's interesting. Like hospitality, it's an industry where it's a lot of long hours,
A
and
lot of bedrooms.
This is true.
that's true, and I can see how that is the leading industry for romance, for workplace romance. That's crazy.
So, Jay, have you ever experienced?
I have, and the good thing about it was that we didn't live together. If we lived together and had to go to work together, I definitely don't think it would have worked. But I have experienced it once before. It wasn't as bad as a lot of other stories because the girl ended up leaving and going to another position. I mean, going to another hotel. So we probably worked and dated at the same time for like 2 to 3 months. So it wasn't as bad, but when it went bad, we had a lot of mutual friends involved. So like she would get mad if they hung out with me after we broke up or something like that, and it's just something I wouldn't do again. And I really didn't want to do it, but it was something that I was trying. I was like, let me get this a try, see how it is, and it didn't hit. Didn't hit
What?
at all.
Yeah. What about you, Rick?
Huh? You say something? Nah, nah. I mean, I've been there. It didn't turn out bad. Uh, it was a long time ago. Long time ago. Um, she was pretty cool. We had an understanding. We're not gonna let it affect work. You act like I don't know you, and you don't know me, and we'll take it from there. So she was pretty cool with that, and she, like, I think a year after, she went on to another company. So that was good. So I was back on the saddle.
But the 2 to 3 months while I was working and we had a relationship, it was like weird because it was just like, although we didn't work the same shift or in the same department, it was just still awkward. Just like, people saying this, saying that, running back. Oh, he did this, or she did this, or he
Yeah.
did that, and it just was like, dude, like I don't need all that. Like, let her do her, and I'm gonna do me. So it just was awkward. I was never a person that thought about doing it or was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and date somebody at work. It just kind of happened, and after that, I was like, nah, never again, never.
So I'm gonna touch on my story because I've done it twice.
Jeez.
First time, the hospitality industry.
Hmm.
Second time was the hospitality industry.
God bless the hospitality industry.
So,
Hospitality. Woo.
that first time, it probably lasted for about a month, and then he transferred. So it actually ended up
It
working
wasn't
out.
right.
We weren't at the same property, but we still had commonalities because we were both still in the industry.
Right.
The second one, we actually lived together and we worked together.
That's
So-
tough right there.
I'll tell you,
You can have that one right there.
when you come home, there's really like nothing else to talk about but work. And that's all you talk about. You have mutual friends, and it's like, oh, did you see so and so? Did you know what so and so did? Or did you hear about this
Yeah.
event? Or did you hear about that?
Pillow talking.
Yeah, but about the same things over and over. So finally, like, I would say maybe 3 or 4 months after, we both looked at each other and were like, we got to find something else to talk about. Like, this is getting ridiculous. That's
Yeah.
all we talk about
Turn
is
the TV
work.
on.
Yeah, we all we talk about is work. And so we would see each other at work. And it was kind of awkward because people knew we were a couple, but people would always be like, oh, Lauren, you didn't speak to him? Oh, he didn't speak to you? I'm like, we live together. We don't really need to do all
Yeah.
of that in the
Yeah,
workplace.
that's just people in your business.
That's too much.
Yeah, I mean, to me, there's just still a level of professionalism that you should carry if you still are going to have that relationship at work.
True. True.
And so, yeah, I mean, it can be challenging because again, it's like you have really nothing else to really talk about or focus on. And God forbid you have to carpool together.
Man.
Because then
You-
you're living together, carpooling together, and you're working together.
Y'all ain't got no break, no
There's
time off.
no downtime
Nah.
in between. So,
Y'all ain't work different shifts? Like, y'all work the same shift and everything?
well, so I actually ended up getting off before him. So I would get off at 5, and he would work all the way until like midnight.
Man. Yeah, I couldn't do that.
You sitting on the toilet just to get a break.
Yeah. I couldn't do that. That one is difficult. Maybe if we were in the same company at a different location, that's one thing. But to live with somebody and then work with them and then gotta commute with them, like nah, that's it's tough. Definitely tough. I mean, the bag would have to definitely be there.
Yeah, I mean, I've also worked with couples who they're married, share the same office space at work, and then they ended up going remote. They had children, and now they both work remotely together in the same house.
I mean, some people can do it. I'm not knocking
Yeah,
those people
yeah.
who can do it.
I applaud him.
I just don't think. I think sometimes when you go to work, you bond with your coworkers and things like that. And you talk about things, not necessarily that you wouldn't talk about with your significant other, but it's just kind of like I'm with my crew. We talking about sports. We talking about whatever the case might be, TV shows or whatever. And it's just like to have to worry about somebody like, oh, I seen such and such talking to such and such, or it's just you kind of need a break. You need some space at some point in time, and just that's too much for me.
It's
For
the
me.
perfect hookup. It's the perfect excuse to just
Kinda
say,
convenient.
yeah, to say,
It's convenient.
oh, I'm working this time to this time, and you can be out doing your thing.
Yeah, but I'm just the person that I like a little bit of space. So it's just like working with somebody that I live with or at the time, especially at a younger age, I just wouldn't have been able to do. I'd have probably went crazy. Definitely. It's no way I would have been able to work like in my mid-20s. It's no way in the world I would have been able to live with that girl and date her at the same time. I'm sorry, live with her and work with her at the same time. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, well, in your 20s,
Nah.
there's
Oh,
many
you wouldn't have
things
been dating.
probably
You'd have
could do.
been jumping from departments to departments.
Nah, I just would have quit back then. I'd have just left.
Nah,
One of us was gonna have to leave.
I mean, it's a buffet.
It's just
It's
man.
a buffet. I've seen it. I've been in the industry long enough. It's a buffet where you can easily, not even on a relationship standpoint, it's just a hookup. Because you're at work more than you at home.
A lot of the times, yeah, definitely.
So you're gonna need that comfort food.
But you got like the thing. What it is too is just like man. Some people can't keep it professional. Some people bring like the work stuff to bring it home and bring the personal stuff to work. So you may be, at your computer typing, doing something, and somebody just come and just the argument start, and you like, yo, like chill, like we at work. Some people can't
Yeah, yeah.
bridge the gap between home and work. So it's just like you got to be real careful about that. So, like I said, for those who can do it, salute. I mean, I know people currently where I'm working at, like they got the husband, the wife, the daughter, the whole family
Yeah,
in
whole
there.
family.
So
Yeah,
so it's just like, and then they live like not too far from the job.
Like
So
their
it's just
name
like,
on the building. Hey.
like man, like that's just too much. But it works for them. I guess they all get in the bag, so it all works for them. But
Yeah.
salute to them.
And I guess my next question was, how do you maintain professionalism when you have an office relationship or
Don't
workplace
talk
relationship?
to me. Don't
Yeah.
talk to me. Don't talk to me.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Just man, hey, you do your job and I'm gonna do my job. We can meet up maybe at break, you know what I'm saying, lunch, chill, and then after that, we just go back to doing our job. And I see you, when I get off.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, so, because we were both, on management level positions, when we would have a meeting with our general manager, we really didn't make eye contact with each other. It was kind of like we didn't know each other. You know, I mean, other people in the room knew we were an item, but I mean, if you were a stranger or a guest coming to visit,
You wouldn't know.
you would have no idea because we really just didn't act like that. We didn't sit next to each other. We spoke to each other just as we would any other colleague.
Yeah, you gotta keep it on the hush.
Did the GM know?
Yeah, my GM knew. And my GM knew, and I think that was one of the things that he had a challenge with because it was like, well, what if things go wrong between you guys?
Yeah.
Then I could possibly end up losing both of you.
You know, it usually in the beginning of when I was working in a company, you couldn't have that. If they found out that you was dating someone or in a relationship with someone or further off, they were a family member. You would have to go work at another property or at least another department. But now, it's fair game.
Fair game. But I think a lot of people don't know the HR policies when it comes to dating, so they just most of the time do what they do, and they just try to keep it on the hush until it goes wrong or it goes right. So it's just like what you said, Rick. Like certain places, yeah, like if you were a manager, you couldn't date like somebody underneath you or
A
something like
line
that.
employee.
Yeah.
But like now,
You
if
can
they
date
like
who
what
you
they
want.
like, they gonna go out there and just like, hey, just keep it on the low, you know. And a lot of people can tell because you know favoritism comes into play. But for the most part, I don't think a lot of people know their HR policy. I mean, I didn't know the HR policy on dating when I was dating the young lady.
But you know, that's a good question. Let's say our significant others was working at the job. Would you show favoritism if you was a manager?
So that's something that SHRM had touched on, which is a human resource management site. And so they said any relationship that involves an emotional bond between two people can become problematic in the workplace. And so they also touched on favoritism. So they were saying employees want the workplace to be fair.
Yes.
It's never fair, but
And so if they perceive, that it's not, it can dampen the creativity and the collaboration.
right.
And so when you have one of those workplace relationships and people notice that may be happening, that you're showing favoritism towards so-and-so because y'all are dating or whatever, then that totally destroys the atmosphere and the morale.
Definitely. I think, are you going to be nice to your spouse at work so you don't catch hell at home?
Why you talk to me like that in front of them?
Yeah.
Like, dang, you ain't really get to send me like that in front of, coworkers and stuff. Like, and I feel you. I feel you. And that's why I didn't want to be in that type of situation. Because it's like, man, like, you trying to, I don't want to say put up a front, but you don't want to, like, be embarrassed or you don't want to get into that situation because you got to make a decision. And that decision, and it's not going to just end at work. It's going to follow you on the car ride, from the car ride to the grocery store, from the grocery store to the house.
It's going to be a stressful day.
And then you're going to
Every
go
day.
back to work. And, and then, people at work, they going to hype it up even more than what it was. So whoever got embarrassed or whoever is getting favoritism, they going to hear it even more. And it's just like, nah.
I would steer away from that.
Yeah, I would too. I wouldn't show favoritism. I would just try to let my significant handle it the best, like handle it her way. I feel like she would be grown enough, she would be mature enough and professional enough to handle if it was a situation. And then I don't feel like I would do too much favoritism because at the end of the day, I could lose my job. So if I lose my job and they see that I'm showing favoritism to her, then at the end of the day, we both gonna get fired and we both gonna be in unemployment line, depending on how much favoritism and how long. So I ain't gonna do it, and I don't believe she would let me do it. Like I ain't gonna slide her like 10 extra hours just she ain't do nothing. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Nah, we got an understanding. Nah, you can't work where I work. I won't work where you work.
Again, I can work for the same company.
Yeah, but not in the same building.
I could even work on the same building. If you was on the fourth floor and I was on the bottom, like the B level floor or the first floor, I'm cool. I'm cool with that. I can do that. I can work with that.
Nah,
You just stay on your floor.
don't even be in the building. I ain't even got to worry about it.
I
Yeah,
feel
see,
you.
I mean, we worked in two different departments, but the thing was, you know how the setup is in the hospitality industry.
You definitely always cross paths.
You cross paths.
All the
You're
time.
going to cross paths. So being in the kitchen and then me being in the marketing office, you can hear him from my
Yeah.
office. So you think you far apart, but you're really not.
You ain't far apart if you in the same building.
Yeah, I
Keep
mean,
it on the hush.
You ain't far
you're-
apart. You just the
because that
elevator.
person, you might think, oh, he's in another department or she's in another
Nah.
department. But if I can hear you speaking,
Nah.
Nah.
no.
And I think hospitality is definitely hard for two people to be in a career field in a management position in hospitality because the hours are so demanding. Like you gotta do at least 10 hours, and then most of the times you're gonna do more than 10 anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like by the time y'all both get home, y'all both gonna be tired. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't gonna have much energy, and if you got kids, that's even worse. So hospitality is definitely a different beast, and it doesn't surprise me that it's at the top of the list, like at all.
Yeah, they got that one right.
It's definitely time consuming, takes you away from your household, and it's a lot of people. You run into a
Yeah.
lot of people. It's a lot of turnover, so
Yeah.
you might be looking for a little quick hookup, or you might be looking for love. You can find it all. So
At the hospitality industry.
hospitality, brothers.
Amen. But
Sound like
I
a
mean,
slogan.
after 10 years, trust me, I know all about it.
People going to sign applications tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. But you gonna be working. They gonna put you to work.
Yeah.
You gonna work. So you better slide in that office quickly and get up out of there if you trying to shoot your shot.
And
But
they say work hard, stay hard.
man,
So I guess my question is, what do you do when things go wrong? So you happen to date this person in the workplace and things are just not working out. Y'all are not getting along or whatever. It was something. It should have been a hookup, but then it became more.
oh,
than
so you
that.
saying it was just supposed to be a little quick jump, like something real quick, or it was?
Well, you realize later on that it should have been.
Oh, I mean, but it ain't really much you can do. Either you going, if y'all are in the same department, either one of y'all probably gonna transfer, or one of y'all gonna leave the property wherever you are, or restaurant, wherever, or you just stay out that person's way. I mean, unless you really gotta cross paths, just keep it professional as best as you can. Those are your really only, those are only the three options you got. Like either you gonna leave, or you gonna stay out my way, or if you leave on good terms, that's a good thing, and maybe y'all can kind of halfway coexist. But if it's on bad terms,
Welcome to hell.
it's gonna be tough. And you're not gonna want it. Somebody's gonna be uncomfortable, and then somebody gonna be petty. Go to HR constantly, be like he does this, she does that, he does that, and it's gonna be back and forth. So we gonna
And Lord forbid if y'all break up and you talking to somebody else.
In the same workplace.
man, you
It ain't gonna be pretty.
man. You asking for problems, bro.
Yeah.
You asking for that's war.
Yeah.
You might as well go to the gym and smack him in his face before he get fired.
Yeah, you might as well find your way out. You must be on your way out.
Yeah, that's too much drama.
Yeah.
So,
But people bring that to the workplace. That's why I was always one of those people who really didn't want to date anybody that I worked with, because you always see the drama behind it. You always see like it end on bad terms, and it comes back to the workplace. You see people arguing. You see people pulling up to the job and going off. And nah, man, I ain't want all that. Nah. And I still got into one.
yeah. I mean, I was that person who used to witness it, and I was like, oh, that'll never be me.
Yeah.
Never
The
seen that.
lies.
And I'm mad at the people who knew the signs and didn't warn me at the time too. Y'all know who y'all are too. I ain't gonna throw no names out there. No name, no blame. But y'all know who y'all are.
You got the list.
So, according to Business Insider, it says women are more likely than men to have participated in an office romance. but they tend to engage in more long-term relationships. Men are more likely than women to have engaged in a random office hookup
Sound about right.
or casual
We
relationship.
boxers, we got to stick and move.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I think what it is, if you're going to do it, you got to be straight up. Like, you got to be straight up, like, look, I ain't even trying to be in no real relationship. I'm just trying,
If we gonna do this, let's do this.
yeah, like,
That's all it is.
be in and be out, you know,
Don't catch no
and
feelings.
roll out. That, I mean, it is what it is. I'm sure that is very accurate. So, I mean, especially like like if it's a inclement weather like snow or hurricane, and you in the hotel room with your staff, like, or your coworkers, something probably gonna pop off with a few of them coworkers.
Oh, no doubt. I have seen it happen.
So, I mean, it's just bound. Somebody gonna catch feelings, whether it's him or her, and somebody gonna get their feelings hurt a week later, and they gonna be in their feelings. But
Wow.
what? That's
Can't be me.
I mean, it won't be me. I'm out. I ain't
can't
I'm
be
out the
either
game.
way. Either way,
I'm on the game.
Yeah.
But I do remember when it did snow one time. It was real bad inclement weather, and I was in the hotel industry. I made sure I got the hell home. I got out of there. I wasn't trying to be stuck. I wasn't trying to do no extra overtime. I made sure I got up out of there. I wasn't trying to be in there with them folks at all.
Yeah.
Cause you just know something gonna pop off, and it's getting ready to be winter season.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they popping pills, they rolling J's, they doing all kind of stuff. So, hey,
So, moral of the story is
Don't do it.
don't do it.
Never lay where you get your pay.
Nah,
Yeah.
don't disrupt the bag.
Yeah.
Nah.
Don't. I mean, you can go. You got so many other options. Like you can now. We spoke about online dating. You can call you a little Instagram join up. You can go on dating sites and have a little somebody come through. Like, don't mess up your bag for a quick,
Yeah.
like a quick moment. It's not worth it at all. So, but I got a few tips. I'm gonna see if y'all agree with these that I got. So, the first tip was knowing your company policy. I think we kind of went over that. Then the second one is stay away from dating managers or supervisors.
Yes.
Yep.
You agree with that?
No
yeah,
question
I
about
definitely
it.
agree with that.
All right. Third one is don't hide it. Let your coworkers know. I ain't letting them know shit.
Yeah, I say don't let
Nah.
them know.
I ain't letting them know. I mean,
hide
if we cool and we close and we got that relationship, I'll let you know. Or if you catch on and you bring it up to my attention, then
No,
yeah,
you gotta
but
hide it. Hide it.
I just
Hide
it's
it.
too
Keep it to yourself.
too reckless out here these days.
Yeah.
All right, the next one is set boundaries.
No question about it.
Okay. If you break up with the person, be open about it. I ain't with
Wait a
that
minute.
one.
Be
If
open
you-
with whom?
Be open with your coworkers. Be open with your everybody. Let them know hey, me and such not. We
Nah,
not.
they
Well,
ain't
if
gonna
you
know.
didn't share the information, then you wouldn't have to share
Yeah, I don't know
the
what y'all
fact
talking
that
about.
it's ended either.
I'm just. This is.
To me, both of those you should be keeping to yourself.
Plead the fifth.
But they say you should be open about it because they say it eliminates the awkwardness of everything if you're open about it.
Who's gonna know it's
It's gonna be
awkward?
between me, her, and God.
Right.
That's it. That's it. And God ain't telling.
Hey,
Right.
he gonna tell, but it's gonna be in a different way.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But
All right, so I got a few more stats. So I got this from a Forbes article. So they say 18% of employees. No, I think you had said that, Boogie. What was it? 44% of colleagues know other colleagues who are in marriages or already in relationships that cheat on business trips or on a work site.
This is true. My brother.
44%? That's high. That's almost half.
that ain't enough.
Man.
Yeah.
That's a high number. So if somebody tell you they going on a business trip, it's a
They like to go
So
out
that
of town to
means-
get around.
That means half of these workplace relationships are possibly people who are already married or in relationships.
yeah. What you say earlier? You work more at work than you are at home.
Yep.
So I don't know. I thought that was an interesting stat. 44%. 72% of people said they would participate in a work fling or work romance if they had the opportunity to do it again. 72%.
Are those people married or are they?
It didn't say. You gotta talk to Forbes about that. They didn't state
I
that.
don't know why hell looking at me.
72%. They didn't say what industry this was. They didn't say anything. That's a high number.
Yeah, and I'm just curious. Are these people single or are they in relationships?
I'm sure 50% of them aren't single. I'm sure like 50 to 60% of them are.
They single at work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why they
definitely.
significant other want to work with them because they know they out there playing foul. They out there taking business trips, going nowhere.
And also they don't want the significant other to be out there playing.
Man, you playing with fire right there,
Yes,
boy.
sir.
I couldn't do it. Don't want to
Burning
do
the
it.
candle at both ends.
So that was the only stats that I had. Did you have any other businesses or industries that
Yeah, what was
had
the list?
No, I mean, according to Business Insider, I would say the hospitality industry and tourism industry was the one that was the most common.
I had fashion was common, the fashion industry.
Probably retail too. When you think retail?
Oh, yeah.
Retail was on the list, but it wasn't the top of the list. Politics was high, which isn't. We ain't surprised about that. Are we? we not surprised about politics. They said banking and finance, IT, transportation and logistics, IT. I think I said IT. Engineering, sales, media and advertising, human resources. They're on the list.
Because they know how to bend the rules.
Ain't that something? How they gonna be on the list? Now, what got me is they said other, which came in at 66%. What constitutes as other? Is that government workers? Is that police officers, firefighters? Who's the
No
other?
comment.
So we're gonna move on from that. And retail and telecommunications. That was the list that I had for the popular industries.
But you know, all of that is under hospitality.
Yeah, definitely. Most of it falls under hospitality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
getting it in hospitality.
yeah, definitely.
Long hours and no pay. So
Yeah.
That's why you get your benefits somewhere else.
I mean, you gonna get a benefit and a bullet. You better be careful.
Yeah. So I know we had touched a little on interracial dating as well.
Have y'all done it before? Dating interracial? Rick?
Crickets.
I've never done it. I've never done it at all. So I just
I wouldn't even call it dating.
Sell it.
I ain't did it.
I mean,
Go ahead, PJ. Go ahead, dog. Go ahead.
yeah.
Hey, I ain't never done it, so you ain't gotta look this way at all. I stayed to the culture. Black is beautiful.
Yes, it is, but you know, I like my coffee black, but I have it with cream sometime. Long time ago. You know, but I wouldn't even call it it wasn't dating. It was a fling. So I've touched some
But you know, interracial
international food.
it doesn't always mean black and white.
Yeah. This is
So
true.
it
That's
could
what I'm
be-
saying.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
So you've been around the globe. I ain't mad.
I mean, I don't want to go with other people saying that. Try for myself and see is it.
Is it worth what everybody
Yeah.
say?
I mean, yeah.
I ain't mad, bro. I ain't mad. I don't want to get you in trouble neither. But
Nah, I'm talking about it was
a
long
time ago.
time ago.
I got you. Yeah.
need to
I just want to make sure the tape running again, man. I don't want my man go home and You know, wife be waiting with the skillet at the door. And I don't want no. Same with me. I ain't did it. I ain't. For some reason, I just never really tried it. Like I just always stayed with African American black women. Somebody that was relatable to me. You know what I'm saying? I grew up around black women, black. Got just never really interested. I ain't really had no interest like that. So I just stayed at home base and just chilled. So I ain't get no international flavor, no interracial flavor, none of that. So and too late for me to get it now if I wanted it.
No
So
doubt.
I got a second, Rick. I like my coffee black.
I ain't mad at y'all. I ain't mad. I ain't
Shit.
mad. I ain't mad at all. You gotta do what you gotta do. Hey,
I mean, love has no color.
not at all. I just, man, I'm glad y'all did it for me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all did it for me.
Yeah, I did it for you long
Long.
time.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
That was way back.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. We probably didn't even know each other. So
I was still wearing skid pants and the shirt.
I ain't mad
Some
at you.
AJs.
But-
long time ago.
But I mean, it's definitely more popular than it has been. Definitely more popular than what it has been in past years. Like I think they said like 40% people are now dating interracial.
Yeah.
So it's definitely come a long way. You got to think interracial marriage was just passed in 1967, I believe.
Yeah.
So just thinking about that is crazy, and just seeing where we are now is just growing. And places like DC is just it's like a melting pot for it.
So that kind of goes into my question. What do you think is the motive? Is there a motive for interracial dating?
I think it's like Baskin Robbins. You might like chocolate ice cream, but there's 30 other flavors that you gonna
Strawberry,
have to
Rocky Road,
try. Yeah. I mean,
mint. you got all that. I think I'm not going to say this is for everybody, but I think some people can't find that person for them in their race or culture, so they just try their hand outside. You know what I mean? They may not be able to find somebody mature enough, goal oriented, or compatible. So they just like, hey, I'm gonna try my luck over here and see what this is like.
No, I definitely agree with you on that. But sometimes there can be other motives. There could be a fetish.
Yeah, you hear that all the time.
yeah.
There could be hair politics.
Yeah, I mean, it could be credit scores.
This is true.
You know, it could be all kind of things. I mean, that's true. I mean, you always hear about people saying they want the black experience. When it comes to black women, they want the black experience, or they feel like they getting with that particular person because they may have more money or credit score or for sexual favors or whatever like that. So it's definitely some narrative behind it, but who knows? I don't, because I ain't never dated in
You
a
never.
racial, so I always stayed home base. So I'm not qualified to answer that one.
I mean, but do you think there is some sort of fetish nowadays?
Oh yeah, everybody got their own motive to why they do stuff. I mean, I know some people. I've heard people say they don't want to date, African American women because they feel like it's a lot of drama. You know what I mean? But I feel like if you dealing with any woman,
There's drama
it's
everywhere.
drama,
Yeah.
regardless of how you look at it. So some people just go based off of experience or what they've been through. So they just feel like it may be different on elsewhere.
Yeah.
So can you date someone, let's say outside your race, that's not down for the cause?
Hell nah.
Exactly.
Or maybe can you explain it and maybe
So
Go on,
touching
go on.
on that,
Say
because
something. Say something.
them being down for you is one thing. So you think they're down for the cause,
Mm-hmm.
but really, they may not be down for the cause just
Yeah.
because they're dating you.
I don't. Hey,
I
you
can't
can't.
do
You
it.
can't. You
I
can't.
can't
It
do
can't work. It just can't work.
No.
And that was another reason why I never really
But
dated
some people
interracial.
make it work, and they really are
Nah,
hiding that person is really not.
it's gonna come out sooner or later. It's gonna definitely it's gonna come to the forefront. Like you can't fake be for the cause, whatever cause that may be, and then like it not come back in your face. Like it's gonna come around at some point in time. Either you're gonna be put in a situation or it's gonna come up in conversation or something like that. Somebody gonna see y'all in public or whatever and make a comment. It's gonna come around. So I don't think it can work. It can't.
Do you think it reveals at a time where that person may not want to be around the other person's friends or family?
That's
Where they
like
shy away from events or family functions?
they may just not like your family. Nah, but I mean,
Maybe their family just don't like you.
yeah, but I mean, like maybe they just don't have the understanding of the family background or the culture piece or whatever the case may be. Maybe they sometimes if you dating interracial, like there's a lot of communication barriers and cultural barriers, so you might have to sit there and explain to them why this may be happening, why y'all do this or do that. So it could be multiple reasons, I think, but maybe they just, I don't know. Maybe they just ain't down for the cause, so they try to find a way out any way they possibly can. So if you having a family event and they don't want to be around, they gonna find a reason not to be around.
But you know what I think, and this is just my opinion, that you have a lot of interracial dating, interracial marriage and stuff like that, and then interracial kids is brought into the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, for me, I love it. I mean, because you're going to have where you don't know where this person's from, what's his background and stuff like that. And that's going to slowly end racism for me. Because you can't sit here and say this person is this person and then you don't know what that person mixed with.
True.
You might get punched in the mouth. So I think that's
I agree with you to some extent. But you have, okay, for example, me.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who's as light as I am, there's always the question of, oh, well, what are you? What are you mixed with?
Just show them you eating that chicken sandwich last week. They already know.
With the strawberry soda.
With the strawberry soda, okay. I think that pretty much answers
That
the
sums
question.
it.
Yeah. But it's commentary like, oh, well, your hair or certain features that make them make commentary like, oh, well, what are you mixed with? Do you necessarily have to be mixed to look a certain way or to be appealing?
I think that's just ignorance.
Yeah.
Point blank. Like, you don't have to be mixed just
You
because.
go back with that Facebook thing to shut the fuck up.
It's just, for me, I just think it's ignorant. Like, I've heard a lot of women say stuff like that. One of my other homegirls got a podcast, and that was one of the topics she had as well because she went through that same situation a lot of the times. But I just think it's, maybe you have certain features, but I don't know. I just think that's ignorant for the most part.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if that's something that people may be attracted to. They see a person and it's, oh, well, she looks like she's mixed.
Yeah, I mean, people for whatever reasons have their motives. Like, oh, you may look like you from a certain place, or you have hair that's from this, that, and the other. So it's always a person's motive, but that person just might be lost. They don't know. They don't know themselves.
Mm-hmm.
True.
So
True that.
it's sad, but it's true.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, but you just gotta weed that out and keep pushing.
Yeah, Rachel picture.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah. Okay.
so
Well,
That was some great topics.
yeah, I think that pretty much sums up our dating in the workplace and interracial dating. We'll probably have a part 2
Yeah, we need a part two.
It's coming.
of
It's
interracial
definitely
dating.
I think we need some guests with some from a different nationality to give us their outlook on it.
or just the stigmas that go with interracial dating, like maybe some actual people that actually have experienced certain things, certain commentary, certain experience that they have gone through. You know what I mean? Like people may make sly comments, people may look at them crazy, people may, whatever the case may be. So I know somebody asked me one time like how would I feel if my kids brought like an interracial person home, and I was just like, I don't think it would really bother me like that, but I would just want to make sure that whoever he's with, they love him for who they love him for. You know what I'm saying? Like he's getting loved and he's being treated right for my sons.
When you turn the lights off, we all black.
So, so that's it. That is what it is. Somebody asked me that the other day, and I was just like, and I never really thought of it because my kids are still young, but I was
Definitely gave you
like,
something to think about.
yeah, but I mean, hey, we gonna see.
To each his own.
So,
Okay. Well, we are going to wrap up for today. We actually will be introducing our intern next time,
Yep.
Rachel, also known as Glove. So Rachel will be helping us on the podcast.
No doubt, no doubt.
shout
We
out
look
Glove.
forward to having her.
Shout out Glove. so hilarious. So most definitely, are we gonna have a guest next week? Possibly, maybe.
Yeah, we are. We
Okay.
have a possible guest for next week.
All right. Cool.
So tune in, everybody. Thanks for watching.
I'm Jay Jones.
L Boogie.
Rick the Ruler.
Hey, stay solid and keep it 100. We out.
Enjoy myself. For me. Enjoy myself. For me. Oh, honey.
time it is. Friday, just getting off. 6 o'clock, ready to wind down. Turn up, hit some D. Make you call whoever. And do whatever. Look, let's take a ride through my city. Where they call the ladies round here pretty. Get us wrong and our attitude borderline shit. Nah, I ain't going there. I'm not going there. Just do me a favor, y'all, and enjoy yourself.